Hello and welcome to Dude's Comic Haul. I'm Jason and this is my weekly video where I share with you the new haul of books I've picked up this week and talk a little bit about what I'm expecting from them and what I thought of them thus far. Today it breaks down as 11 books. It was originally going to be 10, but another book caught my eye, so it ended up being 11. That breaks down as 5 from DC Comics, 3 from Marvel Comics, 2 from Dark Horse Comics, and just the 1 from Image. So, without further ado, let's get into the haul. We start off with Dark Horse Comics, and we have Star Wars issue number 15. This gets us back to our regular story. We've had our 2-month kind of side story with Darth Vader. Now we get back to our main story. Princess Leia's getting married to a prince. So it's going to be interesting to see where the last issue that we had, that kind of came out of left field. So it's going to be interesting to find out a bit more about that. We haven't got a regular artist on the book, so that does make me a bit nervous because he does such a great job on the book. And this issue does feel thicker. But so yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into that one. We then have The Star Wars issue number 6, also from Dark Horse Comics. This is based off the original draft for Star Wars A New Hope. So we get what George Lucas originally wrote. I went into this book not expecting it to be awesome because it's the first draft. But I was really interested to see how different the story is going to be, and it has been a very interesting experience. All the changes that have been made to it, so that got the New Hope we know and love, I think the right decisions were made and did make it into a better story. But it's really interesting seeing the character names and the plot points and the place names that he used in later movies, and it's really been interesting. The art in this by Mike Mayhew has been awesome. So yeah, if you're a Star Wars fan, I do recommend picking this up, whether you're going to dig this one out or the back issues, or if you're going to wait for the trade. But yeah, pick up this one because it is very fascinating to anyone who is a Star Wars fan. We now jump over to DC Comics and we kick this bad boy off with Batman issue number 29, which continues the 0-year story. There have been elements I've enjoyed of this 0-year story, but it just seems so long, you know. It's like you're on a car journey and you're like, are we there yet? Because I want us to get to the end of this. We've just had a lot of issues with the Dr. Death thing that seems pointless. So yeah, this is dragging for me. It doesn't help we've continually had these gaps in it. Doesn't help the story. It keeps cutting down the momentum that the story might be trying to build. So it will be interesting maybe to reread this when it's all together, when it's finished and I can read it all together to get maybe a different perspective on it. But right now, yeah, I just want this to finish. It really heightens my appreciation of what Brian Azzarello has done with Wonder Woman, because I never ever felt with that book ever that, oh god, I wish we'd get to the next bit. And like where with Batman, you look at Snyder's run on the book, you had the Owl Saga first, then you had the death of the family, then you had Year Zero, or 0 year, sorry. So you got three stories there that he's told. With Wonder Woman, Azzarello's just told one story, and at no time have I ever felt like, oh, I wish we'd get to the next bit, I wish we'd get to the next bit. So it really heightens my appreciation of the great job that Azzarello and his team have done on Wonder Woman. But yeah, 0 year, I hope this issue is going to get me back on the train, get me back excited for this story, because going into this, I'm not looking forward to reading this issue at all, and I really just want 0 year to finish. Next up we have Constantine issue number 12, and this will be the last issue of Constantine I get. I did drop it. I picked it up again just because it was part of the Blight storyline. This is the last issue of Constantine that will be tied into Blight, because I think that finishes soon. So this book will be done for me now. The Blight storyline I've enjoyed. Again, it's another long one that I'm feeling I want it to be over now. I feel that it's been such a long journey, and it seems like we keep taking backward steps rather than story or sideways steps rather than keep moving forward. But yeah, I'm interested to see how it finishes up, and anytime you've got Nick Necro in an issue, it's good because he's one of the best characters I think they've created in the New 52. Next up we have Green Lantern Corps issue number 29. This has been good. All the Lantern books are good at the moment. I don't agree with this whole power battery having a finite amount of power, and then the universe is going to go out when it's all used up. But what I do like is the consequence of it, of how the universe have turned on the lanterns. I really like that, and you know, things are looking pretty grim for our lanterns at the moment, so looking forward to reading that. A book I'm really looking forward to is Justice League 3000, issue number 4. This issue we get answers. What are our Justice League? I originally at least thought that they were clones, but they're not. So this issue is the issue we get the answers, and I'm really looking forward to it. Also, we have Locust there on the cover. If you imagine Scarlet Witch, and she was a bit of a possessive girlfriend, as well as being able to alter reality. She's a bit possessive, and she's totally insane. You have Locust. So yeah, I'm liking this book. I really am. When it first came out, like I've said before, I rolled my eyes. Was like, yeah, what we need is another Justice League book. But actually, I really enjoyed this one, and I'm really looking forward to this issue, to the answers. And my final book from DC is Superman Wonder Woman issue number 6. We have the rematch, Zod and Fiora versus Superman and Wonder Woman. Last time it didn't go too well. I really liked how the battle played out last time. The whole thing with, because Zod and Fiora are military, so they've been trained to fight, and Superman hasn't. And I really like that he's getting somebody who is his equal, but Zod has that edge because he's trained to fight. And so I really like that wrinkle in the story. Charles Soule's doing a great job with this, and the art by Tony Daniel is just beautiful. It's one of the best looking books out there, and I'm really looking forward to reading this one. Then my only Image book this week is Manifest Destiny issue number 5. Last issue we ended, one of our people was beginning to turn into a plant zombie, so you know things aren't going to go well, so I'm looking forward to seeing what happens there. But yeah, I love my historical fiction, and this book's been a lot of fun. We now jump over to Marvel, and I picked up a new book. This is the extra book I picked up today. It is issue number 1 of Captain Marvel. Actually, we've got a number 1, and it is a number 1. So that's a rarity. I was picking this up before, and I was enjoying it. Kelly Sue DeConnick writes this, and she wrote it before, and it was a really good book. The artists on it were a bit strange. We had Dexter Soy, and just as you got used to him, they brought this other guy, something Andrade I think his name was, and his art was like just like totally out there. Initially I hated it. I did get used to it, and I appreciated it a bit more. It wasn't totally my cup of tea, but I did appreciate it more as being a different style. But they were just so different. I think the art of the book, and then it kind of got stuck in crossover hell. Crossing over, I think first there was a story with this and with the Avengers Assemble, is it? I think that they tied into a story, then you had it tied into Infinity, and I think any momentum that this book had just disappeared because neither of those stories I was picking up, so I dropped it. And it was never anything about the quality of the book. Hopefully now that they've relaunched it, it's going to stay away from crossovers, and we can get Miss Marvel do her own thing, or Captain Marvel do her own thing, because I think Kelly Sue DeConnick's got a really good grip on the character, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to do there. Next up we have Hawkeye issue number 17. I thought this issue was going to be Hawkeye and the Clown, but looking at it, it doesn't look like that. It looks a lot something to do with Lucky the dog, Pizza Dog. So yeah, we'll see what's going on there. And my final book this week, and probably the first book I will read, is the Superior Spider-Man issue number 29. I've really enjoyed this. It's part 3 of Goblin Nation. It's the final, I think, the final story for our Superior Spider-Man. I've enjoyed this journey, and everything now is just really coming together, and it really is paying off. If you've been somebody who's read this from the beginning, it's really paying off because everything you've seen build is all coming home to roost, and I'm really fascinated by how all of this is going to end up. And yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. Looking forward to it. So yeah, that's all of those. I also managed to get 2000 AD. My comic shop, they only get like 1 copy of it in, and if you like go there early, you get it. So because it was my day off today, I was able to get there early and get it. I've been enjoying this. I jumped on this. Beer and Comics did a review. picked up an issue of this, and he was talking about it, and I was like, And I remember whenever I see 2000 AD, I always think of Mark Williams, MAW00001. Here on YouTube, that's his name, but in the real world, he's called Mark Williams. And whenever I've seen him in his videos talk about 2000 AD, it always makes it sound so cool. And so, you know, with him and then with Beyond Comics, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna try this out, and I really enjoyed it thus far. I think this is probably my 4th issue I've picked up 4 weeks in a row, and I've really been enjoying it. I don't know if it's the next one or the one after, but I know soon they've got a lot of new stories starting in here. I think, you know, so that's a really good place to jump in. But yeah, I've been really enjoying this, and if you like your sci-fi, I definitely recommend it. So yeah, that's me done for another week. Thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. I will be back on Friday with my comics of the week, and then I will be back on Sunday with my comic book roundup, where the books that didn't make it into my comics of the week will be reviewed, get their own set of reviews. Then fingers crossed, hopefully Tuesday, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I will be able to upload my Marvel Ultimate graphic novel reviews. I've got 4 books to review. I will do the 2, and hopefully, fingers crossed, next Tuesday. And then Wednesday, of course, I'll be back with another Dude's Comic Haul. I hope you all have a great new comic book day and enjoy the books you picked up today. Please, any books you've picked up that you recommend to me or anyone else, leave in the comments below. Thank you everyone for watching, and everyone who's left comments on my videos and give me those thumbs up, I thank you. All that leaves me to say now is that I've been Jason. This has been Dude's Comic Haul. Bye guys.